For several years now, since the Woolsey fire burned my place down, I've become increasingly wary of new construction in hazardous areas that are impacted by things like wildfires and floods. There's very real risk out there. I've tried to come around in that conversation, though, and recognize that there are ways to mitigate hazards. And when you're doing new housing in areas that do have wildfire risk, there can be projects that work. And the same goes for flood zones and even high heat zones. There are ways to build houses and communities the right way. But in order to do that, those developers often need to help with the hazard mitigation itself. If you're building in a floodplain, you're going to need some way to mitigate that hazard. And so this bill simply requires a clarification in law from a bill last year that took away the ability to assess fees on certain projects from being spent up front to promote housing and to reduce the fees associated with new housing, and simply says when projects are looking to use those fees to bolster their safety elements or their hazard mitigation plans by using, say, parklands and recreational facilities, which is already allowed under the existing law, but we feel that it needs some clarification here. In other words, that the hazard mitigation and public safety piece that was essential to the compromise from the Senator from San Francisco's bill from last year, we just feel like needs clarity. We don't think that those mitigation projects can wait till after a project, because if you're in a hazardous area, you really can't build unless you mitigate that. So you're stuck in a kind of catch-22, and we think this is going to actually fix that, facilitate more housing, and still respect the framework that this legislature passed last year. These projects are urgent, otherwise we wouldn't be bringing this bill before you right now. As you know, the fire risks and other risks are serious and urgent and are stalling out projects, development, and all kinds of safety issues right now. So we think this is a useful measure and respectfully ask for your vote.